It's like there was just a time where like just beatings was just a thing. Like even my grandma, she used to make me climb up the tree to grab branches, so then she could beat me with it or something. You know,
that is so brutal,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, that tree had a lot of branches, man. I had beef with that tree for years. You know, I was like, yo, why every season there's so many branches?
You're like secretly like, I don't know, like pouring lemon, like I don't know, doing things to try and poison the tree.
Yeah, I'm pissing on the side of the tree. I'm like, yeah, I ate a whole, you know, a box of cereal and some milk. You know, hope you get diabetes and die or some shit. I don't know. That shit still grew branches.
Fuck, climb up, grab a branch so I can beat you with it. And then like, what was okay, so I was definitely hit as a kid, not a heap, but my dad definitely like. I remember once he hit me so hard, like not so hard, but like for me, my level of stand, like I had this huge red hand mark on my butt for like a few days. Like that was as bad as it. My mum would hit my brother with a wooden spoon.
Yeah,
this was a generation thing. Mum, we love you. My brother loves my mum. Yeah. We're all
love
good.
you, grandma. Rest in peace. Yeah.
Exactly. And look, like even my brother was a bit violent with me as well. You know, there were some moments where it was, I retell some stories to some people and like, whoa, that's hardcore. Yeah. But it's like, he never cut me with a knife. He just threatened me with a knife, you know?
I mean, that's brother and sister shit.
Exactly. That's how I see it. But other people are like, whoa, and have you dealt with this in therapy yet? I'm like, what?
I mean, do they have siblings?
Yeah, exactly. Like, yes, I guess, but I guess they grew up in a different environment. I don't know how. I feel like there was a certain level of violence that was naturally assumed in a family space up until you could fight back, really, up until your teens. Yeah. Or you could access those hotlines or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Once you know how to dial the phone and dial those buttons fast enough, that's when shit stops. You know, it's like, okay, all right, I think this person has matured enough to not fight again.
Yeah, so maybe we can use our words, but instead of like it's interesting that there's been such a. Well, it's interesting you're saying you know some people who younger people or your nephews and nieces, that there was still a window of kind of that culture, but that stops. I feel like maybe people aren't talking about it in my communities, but I feel like there's been like even sort of people in their early 20s, I would say, my partner, I don't think he's got any stories of getting beaten or hit by any of his parents.
Really?
And I think that stands for like a lot of people that he knows. Like I don't think
what in Argentina. Like where from?
He's from Argentina, but also like in Spain and stuff. Like I feel like.
Well, what part of Argentina? Because Argentina, I've heard it got some rough areas.
Oh yeah, like he's not poor, so he's like the thing is Argentina's like you're either rich or you're fucking poor.
Oh, okay, so he's on the other side. Okay,
yeah, he's on the other side. But that said, there might be some people in the rich side that still get beaten. I don't know, but culturally, I feel like people in their early 20s, unless they're from maybe Eastern Europe or like other cultures that I'm sure there's plenty of them, but like just doesn't seem like people are getting hit anymore. Like it's gone completely out of fashion, and it's like, I don't know. Yeah,
I guess. I mean, because you know what, I have this bit about like getting punched in the face early in life or whatever, and sometimes when I ask the audience, sometimes it's kind of like either people pull back or kind of like, ugh. But it's also funny too, because then it's almost funny because like, you can see some people where you can kind of see their demeanor. You like. I start pointing them out. I'm like, yo, you got punched in the face before. They're like, yeah, I did. Like, yo, you know what I mean? Because they just have a stoic, you know, there's no anxiety too much, whatever. They're just like, look, I got punched in the face early, you know. And again, not saying you should get punched in the face early in life, you know. But, you know,
maybe you should.
Look, I'm speaking as a dude. As a dude, it will happen. It's somewhere, somehow, I think. Like, I know we live in sacred times, but when I grew up, there was no choice. Like you walk, you just eventually gonna get hit in the face. Like it was just a matter of time. You just walk down the wrong street, the wrong time. Somebody just be like, hey, give me your stuff, you know, or they just see you. They're like, hey, let me just hit you real quick, you know. Yeah.
I've had multiple conversations about this topic, which is comparing. I don't like comparing because I don't think you should compare suffering generally. Fucking fruit flies. Sorry. You leave something in the bin for just 1 to 2 days and boom, there's
and then come out. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Come on, guys.
Well, you're supposed to be freezing to death right now. It's cold now.
Right. Fucking die. But I've mainly with partners, the argument that like whether or not like black men have been more oppressed than women, and I don't think you can say women because there's all different, like obviously black women more oppressed than black men, right? Like you can't, yeah. But in terms of like, and I'm not sure even like in what we're talking about right now, whether or not culture has anything to do with it. But being a man on the streets versus being a woman on the streets, just hearing like you say that at one point or other you're going to get punched in the face. Like I've just been dealing with a lot of moments of men threatening me on the street in the last, like let's just say the last week, but maybe yeah, like
here in Germany. Oh shit.
Yeah, it happens. Like they're very sort of sexually oriented, threatening actions done by men that are strangers.
I'm sorry to hear that. That's
Thank
crazy.
you. Yeah, it's normal. Sadly, it is normal.
Here in Germany is normal.
Yeah.
And they do it in English or they do it in German? Like
all these cunts haven't spoken any language to me actually.
Does it make sounds?
They made sounds. Yeah, they made sounds like staring. Okay, so there was this guy. Like it's often on the street or it's on public transport, and so in like public spaces. And I had this one guy sitting like across the aisle from me, one seat ahead of me. Like I was on my phone and watching a video of like from a comedy show, like figuring out stuff, and I could see in my peripheral this guy kept turning and staring at me, and then when I looked up, he looked again and he was doing something with his face, and so I stopped the sound of my earphones and then saw him, and he was looking down at my crutch. Now I was wearing jeans and my bag was sitting on my lap, right? So there was nothing to see. But he was staring in the direction of my crutch and making noises like and
what?
Yeah. And so when I heard him do this, I was like, I yelled at him in German. I was like, what? Like, what are you looking at? Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
And I actually don't think I said fuck off. I was like, was machst du? Hör auf, like stop, you know?
Yeah.
And then I sort of continued to just be like, okay, what the fuck do I do now? And it wasn't that late at night, and the bus was like getting slowly emptier and emptier. And I was like, what do I do? And he sort of had stopped looking, but then he started again looking back, and I was like, getting closer to home. And then the bus driver's like, all right, final stop, everyone get off. And I'm like, this isn't my stop. And so I had to get out of the bus stop at like fucking midnight or whatever, and this fucking creep is like bouncing around on the street near the bus stop, and I'm like, fuck, what do I do? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna call a car. And I call a car, and then I get in the car, and I was just so fucking angry at how threatening this dude was, and he's just this total fucking psycho loser, right? Like just a fucking piece of shit. And I just come from, you know, it's always that contrast when you just come from having this very empowering night where you've, you know, like maybe produced a really great show and had really good feedback, and everyone appreciates you and respects you, and you've created a space for other people that's been good, and then you get onto a bus and all of that could just be fucked over and ended by one cunt who just wants to, you know, like rape and murder you, you know, you don't know. And it made me, but what was cool, what I realized once I got in the car, I'm like, actually it was really great that the bus made us all get off, because had I stayed on the bus, then that dick could have followed me directly home, you know? So that was actually, I was like, that was actually maybe like a little God move there, and I'm like, I'll take that. But and then like other moments where I'm just walking on the street and some guy like makes noises at me, and then like I stop and he like I turn around and he's stopped and he's staring at me and he still stares at me and he looks like he's gonna follow me, and I just have like a lot of these moments, and so like so I don't know, like just dealing with that level of bullshit, like I would totally prefer getting punched in the face by some random person. Like I would. And I've always said, like, on my bucket list is like being in a fucking fight, and I want to get punched in, like I want to get proper punched in the face. Like,
wait.
Yeah. There's a lot in there.
Oh shit, my brain
Yeah.
my empathy thermostat is like on high, and he's punch in the face like it's like, whoa, what? Huh? Oh shit. Okay. So
Thanks for the empathy.
Yeah, no problem. But let's unpack it since we're here.
Yeah,
so you want to get punched in the face. So what? Like, paint the scenario. Like, would it be like just a street fight? Would it be like, you know, in a restaurant? Like, would it be in a bar? Like, how would you
Yeah, the way I want to get punched in the face. By the way, regarding the all that bullshit with like stranger men, I am going to take like a self-defense course. Like this month, I'm going to organize that. I'm also going to start boxing as like my secondary fitness thing.
Oh, yeah, I'm 100% on board with that. Yeah,
why not? Why not just feel like I can if it comes to it? Like, I got some moves, and I've got the strength, and I've got the confidence to just be like, oh yeah, you fucking, and like, you know, obviously try to avoid these situations, but push comes to shove, I will have some level of experience and confidence in defending myself.
Oh, 100% on that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but yeah, the mad, like the ideal scenario of how I get punched in the face.
Right.
Defending a friend, and like defending a friend, and then being in a fight against someone who's like trying to fuck with a friend, and then getting punched in the face. Yeah, but hopefully, like I'm able to like get some in there as well.
Of course, you want to win. Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to get punched in the face. But I want to get punched in the face and then stomped out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, okay, you got some trauma to unpack. Hopefully, you still got your therapist on speed dial.
Yeah. No. But like, if I get into that fight and then I wake up in hospital, then it'd still be for a good cause. You know, like I don't want to be like randomly punched in the face. I'd like it to be that like some shit was going down and I got involved to like protect someone, and then that's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, getting sucker punch is not fun. Yeah.
No. I've been told that I shouldn't want to get punched because it's gonna fuck up. Like I won't be able to use my jaw for a while because of comedy, and that'll be bad.
I don't know how it is now. I mean, that's a good point, but